And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Ryan Metzler.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan Metzler here again, and today we're going to be taking a look at Chinatown, which is a game about trading. As a matter of fact, underneath the title it says The Art of Trading. And this game, as it sounds, is going to focus almost entirely on that art. Players are going to be trying to get areas within a block or several blocks of Chinatown to control those areas in order to try and build businesses and trade businesses, areas, money, whatever it takes in order to try and get the best of each individual type of business in order to earn income. And so having a large business will get you more income. So basically, we're going to take a look at how this game plays. We're going to look at what you get. We're going to look at all kinds of things. But this is a game that was provided me to take a look at by the Board Game Exchange, where you can try games before you buy them. So if this game is of interest to you, definitely check it out there. But anyhow, let's take a look, and we'll come back here and get my thoughts on it after we're done. So here we have the board and components for Chinatown, and most of the game is going to be played on this board. As you can see on this board, there are numbers here. These are blocks divided up, and there are little areas in these blocks that are buildings, and these are numbered 1 through 85 on the board. This is a game that can be played for 3 to 5 players, so you're actually going to use all of this area in any number of player game, but it's going to get a lot more tight with more players. But essentially, players are going to be entrepreneurs who are trying to gather property and build businesses in each of these areas. And they're going to want to build businesses by putting buildings adjacent to other buildings of the same type. Now, we can see here we have 2 decks of cards. We're going to have a deck of cards. This actually isn't a deck, but it's a type of card that has money in it. So we can see we have $200,000 here, $100,000 there, $50,000 and $10,000 cards in order to keep track of how much money players have. In addition, we're going to have a deck of cards here that has the numbers of each of these different blocks or each of these different buildings on them. And players are going to be getting these cards and using them to stake claim to the different areas within each of these blocks. Now this is all going to be done according to a guide card that you're going to have, and the guide card is going to tell you exactly how you do this each round. So you'll see here we have this round card. And the round card says that round 1, depending on the number of players, you're going to get a certain number of cards, and then you're going to keep a certain number of cards. So let's say that we're in a 3-player game here, and it's round 1. You're going to get dealt 7 of those cards, and you're going to keep 5 of them. Now what this does is we're going to get a player's cards here. So let's say that one player gets these cards here. They have 18, 75, 33, 84, 19, 56, and 71. And just for ease sake, let's say they keep these 5. They're going to put markers out on these 5 blocks on the board. So they're going to go and they're going to find 33, they own this block. They're going to find 84, they own this one, and they're going to find 19, and so forth and so on. So by the time they're done, they're going to have 5 markers on the thing. We have 56 and 71. So 56 and 71. The white player owns these blocks. That may not have been the best choice, but you get the idea. And maybe the green player is going to get these blocks here, and the yellow player is going to have these blocks here. They got this one and that one, and this one down here, and this one there, and one right here. So the players own these blocks respectively. Each player has their own blocks, and now they're going to go on to the next phase of the round. And the next phase of the round is that each player is going to get some buildings that they're going to have to be able to put out onto their spaces if they like, or to trade to other players to get different areas or different things that they'd like more money, whatever it may be. And in this round, so we'll say here 3 players round 1, they're going to get 7 building tiles. They always get the red number. So they're going to get 7 building tiles. And there's a bag full of these building tiles that you'll draw from in order to get your different tiles. So the players will draw. They'll get some tiles here. So they'll have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll have 1 more each. And they're going to have the option of placing, trading these tiles, trying to get different businesses and do different things. So a tile is going to look something like this. It's going to have a business name. In this case, it's Tropical Fish. And it's going to show you how many tiles you need in order to get the biggest business of this type. You need these tiles to be adjacent, meaning orthogonally adjacent, not diagonally adjacent. So you would need 4 tropical fish tiles to get the most money out of them. You would need 5 laundry tiles to get the most money out of those. You'd need 4 jewelry tiles to get the most out of that, or 3 to get the tea houses. And each player is going to have their own set of tiles and their own set of places that they can build. Now, The interesting part comes in after this. You've got your places you can build, you've got your different tiles. Now you are allowed to trade anything with any player in order to get anything else. So you can trade tiles for places on the board, or you can trade places on the board for money, or you can trade money for tiles, whatever it may be, in order to try and get the best locations for you to build your business. So maybe this player has 2 tropical fishes. They'd really like to have 2 spots next to each other. Let's say this is the white player, so they really want this green spot. And maybe green really wants this jewelry. Well, maybe white thinks that it's in their benefit to trade this jewelry to green for this spot, but green wants more. Green wants this jewelry and some money. So maybe they have $10,000 plus the jewelry goes to green, and green says, okay, for that, I will give white this spot. Now white owns both 19 and 22, has spots that are adjacent to each other. After everyone has decided that they're done with their trading, they are able to put their buildings that they have out onto their board. So now that white has these 2 spots, maybe they want to put the tropical fish out onto these 2 adjacent spots. And what this does is, after everyone has placed their buildings, you're going to earn income based on how your buildings are laid out. So you'll see here, we have this on our guide card as well. It may be hard to see on video, but for incomplete businesses, depending on how many tiles they have, this one has 2, you're going to get $20,000. Now, a complete business of 4 tiles, if we were to complete our tropical fish by getting 2 more spots adjacent to these tropical fish, we would get the complete bonus. And the complete bonus is going to be $80,000 as opposed to a 4-spot building which is incomplete, which only gets you 60. So you'll see there's a bonus for completing your different businesses. And you're going to collect that money each round. There's going to be 6 rounds. And the next round would be played in the same way. Each player would be dealt some cards. They would choose which cards to keep. Then the players would get their tiles, which they would add to their already existing tiles in front of them if they hadn't played all of their tiles. And then they're going to go ahead and trade again, able to trade whatever they like for whatever they like. They can even trade completed businesses if they want in order to get certain amounts of money, or trade buildings that are already built in order to get specific amounts of money that they think is more beneficial than the spot on the board for them. After 6 rounds, whoever has the most money by doing this the best, by accumulating the best areas and building the best businesses, is going to be the winner. All right, there you have it. That is Chinatown. This is a game I went into it not really expecting to like it. I don't typically like bartering games where I have to rely on agreements with other players in order to get something done. But this one does it in such a way where you don't feel like you're forced to necessarily make a deal, and oftentimes people are going to want to make deals with them because you're going to have a critical area that they're trying to build in. Maybe you don't need it, but you kept it specifically so that you could force them into a deal with you for something that they have that you would like. If you're not outgoing, you're not going to do well with this game. You're going to want to try and make these deals. You're going to want to try and force your opinion on other people. Maybe jump in before somebody else gets to make a deal with that person who could go either way on a deal. But if you do enjoy social interaction, and many of you gamers are going to want to look for social interaction, I think you're really going to enjoy this game. It does a very nice job of putting this trading type of mechanic into a short time frame while maintaining a high level of interest and a high level of strategy that you can try and plan out without necessarily revealing that strategy to everyone else. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can check this game out either from your local retailer or an online shop, or from the Board Game Exchange, where you can try it before you buy it. And anyhow, a game that I like quite a bit, Chinatown.
To try this game and over 800 others before you buy them, visit BoardGameExchange.com.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.